Some episodes of Chespirito Show are El Chapulin on adventures.
Astúcia minha com contavam não!
Other Chespiritoing from El Chavo Club are stitched together jokes and depend entirely on how much they make you laugh.
Racusa?
E os corpos começaram a voar!
But, as any good hero, Red Thumbelino doesn't just fight terrible scientists.
Só queria ajudar!
Were they awake or not, they're vipers biting Clarissas that need rescuing, as in the three versions of La Mordida de la Vibora or the snake bite. But the rope fine shouldn't go from the tents to the swamp, it's the sand that's quick.
O que nos moveria isso?
Only shown in Brazil in 2018, the first version is from 1972, and it isn't even 10 minutes long. It's not as good itself, but somewhat interesting. Maria Antonieta de las Nieves is the wife, who comes from a walk with Villagrán, already saying she's been bitten by a snake. They can't find their medicine, Carlo runs to a nearby camp to ask for antivenom, not that one, and El Chapulin throws items from inside one of the tents and then flips it upside down. The husband gets there, says they have the antivenom, but he didn't bring it and goes again.
Dom Ramon Antônio Esteban Gomes Valdez e Castilho, Conde de Terra Nova.
Says he'll hand everything inside the tent so El Chapulin doesn't destroy it, and the TV hero, not that one, throws more things quite randomly. The wife feels she's about to faint, they decide to use the stretcher, the Chapulining around delays them, and when he tries to take her on his arms, the husband gets there with the antivenom. El Chapulin falls tired over the stretcher, they're going to put it away and take him with it? Then pointing where the camp is, him going sideways in a bit of physical humor that could have worked better. This version is much less polished. They talk about there being no time to suck the poison out, but it feels like she's just been bitten. Likewise, the items from the tents aren't that great because El Chapulin stays quiet most of the time, at least in the Portuguese version. The pantomime with the body and the tricycle are better, but are the exception. The visual joke is the tent being small and holding so much, but it doesn't look all that small, even more so taking that much of the screen. The story comes back to the CH universe in 1975. Cosmos? This version is 20 minutes, lengthened with jokes that are quite standard for the franchise.
Por isso estou em forma.
Em forma de estaca.
Está ouvindo?
Sim!
Cabelos? Relatência.
São na cabeça.
But besides changing who exercises early, we have various less common jokes, even if not that unique.
Cruzeiriça! Ela atende mais depressa quando ouve falar em dinheiro. Mas o que faz em plena floresta uma estátua sua? O corpo dela parece com o meu. E você casou com ela?
Sim.
E quer que eu a encontre?
On top of a couple of exclusive ones.
Eu tô fazendo meus exercícios matinais.
E como se chama esse exercício?
A bicicleta.
Mas o senhor não tá mexendo as pernas.
É que eu tô descendo uma ladeira.
The Swamp Port is almost completely new, though unfortunately starting with the old heteronormativity.
Ele ficou pra trás colhendo florzinhas.
The flowers were a branch to use on the way in case they didn't see the danger. After testing the water and the rain starting, commercial, and El Chapulin says the wife might not be in the swamp, but eaten by a lion. He must have played Lucky Dime Caper, and the father-in-law says she might have been bitten by a snake.
Isso me agrada mais. Fica valendo.
El Chapulin decides to use the teleported rope vine, says he thought Tarzan falls bit by bit.
Tarzan? Tarzan?
Sai daí!
O vermelhinho.
Knocks the husband by accident, the father-in-law on purpose, and finally the husband wants them to go across.
Pra que vamos procurar do outro lado do pântano se a sua mulher está deste lado?
She says she got lost.
Está sujando a minha roupa, Fredegundo.
It's worth noticing this was a joke with the word for filthy. It wasn't unusual to do that with someone's name as a joke. I still do it. Damn, I'm old. We're back to the original with the husband going for the antivenom, the wife saying she might pass out, and El Chapulin taking stuff from the tent with the father-in-law's help. The execution here is much better, not only due to the wife's reaction when the dad says they're halfway there, but also having some nostalgic references in Portuguese.
Trouxeram até o Valentino Guzzo.
narizes horríveis e também o do Pedro de Lara.
Telling her to watch El Chavo unless you'd like to see more reviews of the CH franchise. And El Chapulin's voice talents here non-stop talking, showing how nervous he is, which makes it all even funnier, and even extends it to the next part.
Portanto, vê se não desmaia agora. Depressa com essa padiola!
When they're taking her to the other camp, after the chapulining arounds delay the stretching around, the anti-venom gets there and Clarissa sits, jumps up and says she's being bitten.
É o alfinete da minha calça.
This version makes the story much better, improves what it reuses, and brings a new ending that ties it all together. The only weak point might be that the wife is about to faint throughout the whole tenting and stretching, and maybe it makes a bit less sense, especially with the new ending. On the other hand, the only positive the original version has is being a real emergency, with the wife getting a shot. The third version's good only goes as far as some better camera work and a better scenery. In fact, that's somewhat questionable. The swamp is better hidden, but the rope vine, together with the simpler stuff, kinda helps to the slapstick atmosphere, I'd say. This is a remake from 1978, actually called A la Vibora, Vibora del Mar, and it's very similar to the previous one, though much weaker. Chespirito doesn't have that much energy anymore, so using the vine seems more limited, and the joke's timing is worse. They seem to wait for the audience's laughter, though it's scammed. We have a few jokes that change, for no reason I think. The father-in-law says El Chapulin was picking flowers, but there's no branch. The noses now are just jokes about being ugly. Villagrán giving the camera the finger. El Chapulin slaps Fredegundo, and there's no laughter. In the end, the wife shows the pin and sticks her tongue out, which kinda helps toward the slapstick feel, but in this version, she sat down beforehand, so other changes are more understandable, such as the vaccine being for measles rather than smallpox, and calling her Dollarissa. Might as well, I couldn't think of a joke here anyways. But parts of the execution simply don't work as well, like Kiko saying cheerfully that they have the anti-venom that he didn't bring, and Ramon talking about her eyes quickly. They seemed like genuine reactions before, but here they feel like poorly told jokes. And it sounds like Chespirito being less aware of what works, restitching his script together. I think a good example is with the nose jokes, where the father tries to explain Clarissa's nose and mentions his neighbor, El Chapulin later saying, "What if instead of her, I bring the neighbor?" It's absurd, but that's why it works. Like the doorbell that isn't there. Here, there's a doorbell. So from surreal, it became possible, but pointless and predictable if you've seen the second version, and therefore is dull. And instead of the neighbor, we have
Chapeuzinho vermelho.
Hey, maybe she has a magic sphere that explains the vine teleporting. It wasn't worth it, even less than the original. If you wanna see it, the second version is the best option. The first can be interesting for anyone curious, the third is just for reviewers being thorough. Please don't you forget to subscribe and hit the bell.